And we are going to kick off the summit by announcing the winners of the Discover Blockchain Technology Code-a-thon. To help me do this, please welcome to the stage Michael Hansen, the Head of Innovation from Discover. I guess I'll readjust. I don't know how we're going to share this microphone. So Mike, thank you for your support. What did we see over the past 24 hours?
Well, great. Thanks, Perry Ann. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you to the Chamber and to Georgetown University for hosting. You know, I showed up in D.C. at Georgetown 32 years ago. I was going to be a freshman at the university. I was excited to do really three things: to receive gifts, to recognize gifts, and then to share them. And that's what I saw yesterday. So first of all, you're going to meet three teams in about 5 minutes, and they're the cream of the crop, you know, the best of the best. But there were 10 teams. I go back 28 hours, not 32 years, 28 hours ago. Over 100 people showed up, supported by coaches, mentors, mostly volunteers, supported by corporates and the Georgetown infrastructure to enable a great competition. So can I have a round of applause for all 10 teams and the 100 plus participants? So in a few short hours, you know, the hundreds of people who were here, some self-organized into new teams, some showed up as teams, but everybody came together and they cooperated. Some of the other coaches and mentors and I walked around, we visited people in the rooms, and I was really excited to see that in each room you had divergence of opinion. You know, it was a diverse group, and our differences enable us to be better than we would be by ourselves. You know, if we have 5 people on a team and everybody agrees with each other, nobody's smarter than the smartest guy. If you got 5 people on a team and people disagree, then it becomes additive. So the disagreements that we face as an industry don't scare me. Right. The push forward that happens at events like this, I can tell you one push forward today versus yesterday, there's 50 more ties in the room, there's 20 less hoodies, there's no Pokemon hats. You know, this is a sign that industry is maturing and that everybody's embracing it. So we're pleased to be a part of it, and congratulations to the top 3, and let's get on with the announcement.
Thank you, Michael. All right, so the past 24 hours, the teams had, the competition was focused on 3 key areas. The first was payments, so establishing next generation solutions over the blockchain to increase transaction speed and reduce payment risk. The second was RegTech, so developing cost-effective back-end solutions for assuring regulatory compliance. And the third was digital identity, so creating trusted, tamper-proof digital identity solutions for consumers and businesses. Before we bring out the teams, I want to thank and recognize our distinguished panel of judges. First, we have Leslie Go, who is the Chief Technology Officer of the World Bank. You can stand up and turn around and wave. Thank you, Leslie. Jordan Earls, who's the co-founder and lead developer of Quantum. Penny Lee, who's the Chief Strategy Officer of 1776. And Jordan Kruger, the Director of Research and Operations at Block. Michael Kerr, the Head of Architecture, Commercial Payments, and the blockchain guru of Discover. And Tyson Goings, Payment Innovation from Discover Financial Services. So the teams were judged on 3 technical components. The first was technical competence and capabilities, and that accounted for 40% of the overall score. The second was practicality, which accounted for 30%, and creativity, which also accounted for 30%. Okay, so I'm going to welcome out to the stage our top 3 finalists, so you guys can go ahead and come out. The first team is Open Vote. The second team is Seek Refuge, and the third is the Heisenberg Project. All right, so these are in no particular orders. These are the top 3 teams. They don't know who is what place. What we're going to do is have each team, they've each selected a team captain who's going to come down here, and they will have 2 minutes to present their solution to you all, and then we will announce the winners. So the first team up, and again, this is in random order, is Open Vote, and their team captain is Daniel McNally. So Daniel, if you want to come on down. We have a clock. It's right here. It'll start as soon as you start. So when it goes off, if it doesn't cut you off, we'll cut you off.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement. The 2016 presidential election was hacked. Or maybe not. We don't really know, and that's kind of the problem that we went out to solve. So we are trying to increase transparency and confidence in our electoral systems and our elections. Nowadays, not only do we have a lot of accusations of electoral misconduct, we also have high-profile electronic hacks, and we also have a proliferation of electronic voting machines. So our proposal is to take snapshots from the database, the current state of a voting machine, periodically during the voting period, and commit the hash of this data to a public blockchain like Bitcoin or Ethereum using the open timestamps free and open API. So what this does is it gives you a picture of what the voting progression has been like, and since we're only committing the hashes publicly and publishing those during voting hours, we're not actually revealing like what the current vote total is. That's something we can't do. So what it does allow is that after voting is over, the election systems, the poll booths, can release all this data in addition with the hashes and a tool to verify that, in fact, this data existed at the time that they said it did, using timestamps directly from a public blockchain block, not having to take their word for it. It's something that anyone should be able to download, run themselves, verify themselves, and if something is off, we might be able to detect some sort of tampering or something wrong. And if something isn't off, which we would hope so, that's still great because it is really instilling trust and confidence in the system, which is a very important thing. So thank you very much.
For those of you who couldn't see, he's wearing a Bitcoin tie. Very professional. All right, so team 2 is Seek Refuge, and this is Kay Kim. Okay, Kay. And your clock is here. Okay. All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, we're Team Seek Refuge. We seek to provide a dignified journey for refugees using blockchain technology. Our model disperses more funds to refugees in an efficient, less costly manner and provides them with a digital ID. As the European refugee crisis is unfolding, the world is experiencing one of humanity's largest disasters. Since 2013, the number of asylum applications to EU has more than tripled. This trend is expected to worsen. International NGOs such as UNHCR, UNICEF, and IRC are on the ground to provide vital services such as primary healthcare, legal, and educational support. They also give out cash so that refugees can put food on the table, pay for accommodation, and satisfy their basic needs. Cash transfer is a powerful instrument that can have positive impacts. However, traditional cash transfer models are ineffective. Middlemen carve out a significant portion of money in the transaction that should be going to refugees. Blockchain technology eliminates this issue. The lack of motivation on the part of refugees in actively availing the needed services is also a big problem. For example, mental health issues are on the rise, but many do not seek for help. The smart contract concept in the blockchain precisely requires refugees to meet certain conditions before funds are dispersed. Lastly, our solution provides tamper-proof digital identity to refugees using biometric data and other verifiable attributes. This allows us to increase transparency, accountability, and collaboration amongst all stakeholders through a decentralized and distributed ledger. We urgently need this technology. International NGOs and governments can collaborate and implement the model, especially when over 60% of refugees are settled in urban areas with higher connectivity, and over 90% of them have smartphones. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Kay. All right, and team 3 is the Heisenberg project, and this is Kevin Lefew, correct?
Yep.
Lefew, all right.
Hey everyone, my name's Kevin. When we set out to basically create a vision around the Heisenberg project, what we wanted to do is we wanted to break bad for good, meaning we wanted to make being bad impossible. So from that, we had a couple of ideas. What we ended up deciding on was a solution that was simple and made sense. So the idea was we tokenized basically RX pharmacy tablets on the blockchain in such a way that a doctor could prescribe to a patient a digital token that contained metadata such as the patient's public key so that he could verify himself at the point of sale with the pharmacy, as well as the doctor ID and all the other information that would be associated kind of with that RX. We had that all built into the NFT. And so we decided to use the non-fungible token standard, the ERC 721 standard, when we approached this. When approaching our design, we decided to go with a consortium design because we thought that was the best approach to scaling and also enabling privacy. So we wanted to have read-only access by approved parties, which would be people that were approved by regulators. And so with that in mind, we wanted to enable privacy. I'm really happy we had this team. I haven't slept for a day, so it's kind of funny. But overall, really happy. I had a great team. All of our code's out on GitHub. Check it out, and thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, so keep in mind, this was a 24-hour hackathon, so they've stayed up all night, and this is kind of the the after party to that. So I'm sure after this, they're just going to crash. So thanks to all of our teams and the contestants for your participation. All right, you guys ready to learn who the winner is? Okay. All right, so I'm going to have Michael come help with this. So for third place, we will have Jordan and Jordan present the award, which is 50 quantum. And you want to read it out?
Again, congratulations to all 10 teams. Congratulations to the 3 finalists. The third place contestant is Open Vote.
Okay, and so second place is the winner of three Ether, and awarding this is Leslie Go from the World Bank, and our second place winner is?
The second place winner, you just heard from him, the Heisenberg Project.
All right, and that means first place, who wins 1 Bitcoin, is?
No mix-ups this time. It's Seek Refuge.